Okay, so this is going to be a different type of episode or video. I'm going to go over how to be a good dad. Okay, and there's going to be a reason for it. I'm going to go into it. I'm going to go into why I think that I'm relatively a decent enough parent to give advice. So, as you guys know, I mentioned in previous videos, I'm educated in nursing. I'm an ER nurse. I took psychology before that, and I have a lot of other experiences that make me, I believe, a pretty decent people person, good judge of character, and so on. So I think personally, I'm a pretty decent parent. I'm very involved with my child, and I had a very different perspective or entry into parenthood. And I'll go into that in a second. The reason why I decided to make this video, I'm a mess right now. I'm exhausted. That's part of parent life, right? If you're watching this, you probably have young children or are about to have young children, and there's a lot of things you don't know until you're in the thick of it. So I'm going to kind of go into that. But today I had my daycare worker say, like the woman I send my child off to whenever we're working, she said, "My God, you know, I have a group of kids that have a ton of, I have a group of kids that have a whole bunch of caring fathers, very involved fathers." And she says, "That's very rare." And that's what bothers me, is the fact that it's true. I see it all the time in the ER, in life, and so on. And I'm going to go into that. So, what I think was different about me is the fact that I was able to take 10 months of parental leave because my wife tore her ACL, so I wasn't taking anything away from her. So we both became like full-time parents at the same time with a new child. I think this is the first thing that is different for most men, is the fact that you become habituated, just like any other routine. Most men go to work, most women, and I mean, this is, you know, not for everybody, not everyone's circumstance, but for historically speaking, men go to work, women stay home. Women will take care of the child. Women will feed the child, clothe the child, take care of all the decisions, as well as take care of all of the diaper changes and so on. So, if you've never done a diaper change, are you going to be super confident or willing to do so? Not so much, right? So whenever you have somebody who's always working and everything else is being cared for, whenever they come home, they're not overly confident in doing these things, and it becomes just routine. Wife takes care of these things. And out of sight, out of mind. Just like if you want your wife to give you credit for doing the dishes, make sure she sees you doing the dishes, because out of sight, out of mind. Same thing with parenting. That's why most men don't realize that parenting is a full-time gig. It's more exhausting than most jobs. Like, I actually look forward to going to work because I know I'm going to get my breaks, that I'm going to eat well, that I'm going to deal with parents and work on a emotional level that is on par with mine for the most part. And that is the difference, is the fact that most men don't get to see or don't get to experience how hard raising a child can be. So, these are going to be my recommendations for how to be a good father. Women, like, that's another video. Maybe I'll get involve my wife with that. But how to be a good father. First and foremost, don't realize that it happens without effort. It is a lot of effort to raise a child, and just do the bare minimum, okay? To raise a child and give them everything that they need, want, and then give them opportunities to grow and prosper is actually a lot of effort, okay? So give your wife some respect if she's the one doing it. Also, chip in, okay? Because they will learn a lot from you as well, okay? So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So understand that there's a lot of effort and that you have to be ready to make that effort. And that goes on to my next point, is the fact that it's time to stop being a child yourself. If you are a gamer and you need to game every day because that's the way you do things, okay? Fucking grow up. okay? You have a child to take care of now. Get the fuck off your game. I see this all the time and it infuriates me, okay? It's time to put childish things away and man up, okay? If you have a lot of hobbies, activities that, make you, get the fuck over it, okay? Because you're a parent now. That's what you are. You don't have to give up everything, but it's not about you anymore. It's about them. And that's the biggest thing I have to say about how to be a good father, is get the fuck off your high horse. And I'm sorry, I get really passionate about this, because that person needs your time. That person needs your exposure. That little person will remember and take more away from time with you than you will ever realize, okay? And it is so mind-blowing how much and how fast they grow. And if you are there helping, okay, this is something my father always taught me. You should always want your child to wind up better than you are. You should be able to take everything, like I take everything that I learned from my parents and I try and do it better, okay? And they, in the long-term game, because this is a marathon, not a race, the long-term is you should want your child to be more educated, more successful, happier, healthier than you are. That is my perspective, and I believe that's a pretty healthy perspective on how to raise a child. You should want them to be better than you when they are your age, okay? So the best way to do that is to teach them right from the beginning. I spend all my time with my child. She does everything with me. She comes to the hardware store with me. She works on projects. I find ways to expose her and to do what I need to get done with her around. Like I'm gonna pick up rock climbing again. I'm gonna bring her along, okay? So that she's exposed to it and that she learns. Like again, she loves going to the gym with me. It's awesome. She loves working out in the shop. Helping me with the garden, all this. She's only 3 years old. I have a second one coming. There's a bun in the oven. So again, these are things that I've found to be extremely important. And the advice that a lot of guys need to hear is the fact that if you expect to be a good parent, you have to be willing to change. Okay, because you're going to be if you're exhausted and you have no time to do anything for yourself, then you're probably doing a good job at parenting, okay? You can see it in my eyes right now. I'm looking at myself. I've never been so tired in my life. I've never been so happy in my life, okay? It is the most rewarding thing that's ever happened to me. So, stop being selfish. Start doing things for them. Stop taking things for granted. Realize that it should be a two-person effort. Get involved with everything: bath time, changing diapers, preparing meals, and I might make another video on how to be a good husband. Again, I think I'm a pretty decent husband. I believe my wife would agree. We're both nurses, so I feel like I have a better understanding of activities of daily living, things that need to go on. Anyway, that could be another video. Again, just how to be a good father. Those are the biggest things, really. If you do that, everything else pretty much falls into place. There's a lot of little tips and tricks on how to get them changed quickly, how to deal with a sick child, how to potty train, all these things, but that, will come with time. Do research, do things as a team, but how to be a good dad, well, looks like my time's up. Somebody's at the door. So to continue with my rant and advice, another thing that I would say is be patient. Children, especially at a very, very young age, cannot express themselves and they cannot understand, okay? So it can get really frustrating, especially when you're exhausted, that all you want to do is get upset and tell them what to do and blah, blah, blah. That's not going to work. It's never going to work if you try and approach things in a stern or angry manner, because this is the thing. They just don't get it, okay? So what you have to do is always be patient, okay? And try to understand things from their perspective, which is they're crying because they can't tell you they're hungry or they're scared, okay? That they don't want something and they can't understand why you are forcing it on them. Be it food, be it brushing their teeth, or be it everything. You're gonna find out over time. But they can't understand until they're like 2 why you're doing something and why they have to listen. And at 2, you can start negotiating. And that's a whole other thing. We use timers, okay? You have 2 minutes left of this, and we use our Google Home. And then once the timer goes off, it's time for bed, or it's time to brush your teeth, or whatever. We always give her, so she knows that it's coming. That's at a later stage. So big thing, be patient with them. Don't get angry, okay? Always fight the urge to get stern or angry. I do not believe that spanking is a good idea, because they are like teaching them that violence. And like, I mean, I spanked her once, and right afterwards it's like, that wasn't a good idea, because you're just teaching her that, or you're just showing her that I am more powerful than you, and whenever I want to, I can punish you with physical pain, or like, not pain, but because you're not slapping them that hard, or you should not be, or Child Protective Services should be called on you, but you're slapping them enough so that they're scared of you. Again, those aren't really good ways to discipline. You have to learn to talk it out. So another thing is always be willing to do the hard thing. For example, I think it's the greatest thing, the motivator, to do more. Like if I was home alone, like I am now, I'm gonna sit on the couch, I'm gonna watch MTV, I'm gonna bum around, laze around for most of the day. When my child's here though, no, she needs outdoor time. Go outside, go to the parks, make the hard decisions, get out, do things rather than be lazy. Again, that's the reason why you're always so tired, is because if you want to do more than just the basic, you got to put the effort in. And I believe that the child extremely benefits from this. I see a big difference between my child and children who don't get that because their parents can't for whatever reasons. And it doesn't take money, it just takes time, okay? Give them the time. And make routines. Like daddy-daughter day is all about, we go for a pretzel. She knows whenever we're going, it's daddy-daughter day, it's going to be for a warm pretzel. We're going to work out. We're going to go to the gym, which is in my basement. And she works out, like right from early beginnings. She knows that eating well and hydrating and exercise are extremely important. These are the things that make our time unique, and I believe she benefits a lot from that. So I'm gonna just leave off with that. Is parenting just comes with time. You find out what works, but I believe that a lot of men need to be made aware that it is a lot of effort, that you have to be willing to make the effort. You have to be willing to go above and beyond. You have to get out of your own selfish mindset that your life needs to have certain things, okay? Because you had all of up until now to do those things. Now it's time to show them that you're there for them, okay? And finally, just be you. Be you around them. Be a better version of yourself. And that is what's going to allow your child to learn from you and to grow with you and then beyond you. Because again, that should always be the final end point, is that your child can look back and say that my parent, my father, gave me everything he could, and I have gained so much from it, and now I'm going to go out on my own, be my own individual, and hopefully become a good parent from what I learned from him. So All right, guys, that's my rant. Let me know if you have any other questions, topics. Again, I'm a nurse, so if you guys want to talk about sick kids or whatever, let me know, and I'll make another video if you guys are interested. Again, this is me just feeling like there's a lot of common sense that's not so common for everyone, and if I can do it, you know, anyone can.